Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hey guys, it has been a minute. I have been enjoying the summer, eating good, hanging out with my daughter, and working on some new things that I am sure you will be hearing about and finding out about over the next coming months. But we are back. I'm hoping you guys have all been having an amazing summer. And I wanted to kick it all off with this episode because since the beginning of summer, and even maybe like a month before that, this has been what has been coming up for so many of you that follow me, support me, and so many of my new clients. And it's figuring out what direction to take your career in. So many of you have told me, I know what I don't want to do. Like, I don't enjoy what I'm doing anymore. I'm tired. I'm over it. But I don't know what direction to go in. I don't know what industry to move into. I don't know whether I should start a business. I just don't know what my career change is. So I wanted to talk about it. Let's get into it. What happens when you know that you don't want to do what you've been doing for the last 5, 10, 15 years, but you're just not 100% sure what industry or role you want to move into next? So the first thing I want to say is, not knowing exactly what you want to do doesn't mean you have to stay stuck. And I'm saying that because nothing changes if nothing changes. I'll say it again, nothing changes if nothing changes. That means if you don't do anything, if you just stay still, nothing will ever change. But I understand that when you don't know what you want to do, the feeling of being stuck in your career can feel even worse than when you do know what you want to do, but you just don't know how to do it. Because I think when you know what you want to do and you just need to learn how to do it, it's a lot easier than, I have no clue what to do and I have no clue how to do it. And I want to say something else as well, because some people get stuck because they're trying to figure out, what's my dream career? What do I want to do? And actually, I want some of you to realize that not everyone wants to make their dream career a job. And the reason for that is when you know that your job is how you get paid, how you feed your family, how you pay your bills, how you take care of your kids, how you create experiences for your family, how you get to enjoy life, it sometimes puts a lot of pressure on that job and it takes the fun out of it. And sometimes there's things that you love to do, like you might love to cook, but you might not want to own a restaurant because it might make you not enjoy cooking anymore. And I say this because someone really close in my life, that was something for them. They love to cook. They're really good at cooking as well. Excellent. But when they worked in food services, when they were a chef and they were doing all those things, they said it took the fun out of it. People complaining about their dishes, people wanting things a certain way, them not enjoying, not having the creative freedom. It just took the fun out of it. So I want you to know that your ideal job might not always be what feels like your dream job. Sometimes your hobbies, your interests, the things you love doing are just supposed to stay there. They're just supposed to be the things you love doing while you find a job that you enjoy doing. And some people are content with a job just being a job. I think a lot of people feel like I've got to have purpose and meaning and it's got to be a dream. And that's great. But that's not the reality for everyone. Some people just want a job to be a job. They want to find the purpose and fulfillment of their life in their personal life, in the things they do outside of work, in their hobbies, in their volunteer work. They don't want it to be through work. We don't all find fulfillment through work, but we can still find fulfillment in life. Some people are just content with their job being a job. They're happy to make really good money and do a job that doesn't stress them the fuck out. And that's it, as simple as that. They just want a job that pays them really well and doesn't stress them out. And that's enough. They don't love it. They don't hate it. It's just a job. They go every day. It's easy. I've had a job like that. It was just easy. I made a lot of money. It was really easy. It wasn't my dream job. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. It was a good job. I was content. I was happy because it was simple and it was a job. But being unhappy, stressed, frustrated, unsatisfied, underpaid in your life because of your job is a problem. Having a job that's just a job will never be a problem, but having a job that stresses you out, doesn't pay you well enough, makes you feel unappreciated, unhappy, knocks your confidence, that's a problem. And that's a reason why earlier I said, if you do nothing, nothing changes. So this episode is to help you to get moving and also to help you figure out, what do I want to do next? How do I figure out my next career move? Most of my clients that I work with that come to me, they already know roughly what they want to do. They've got an idea. It's either one or two options. They haven't got like 5 or 6 options. They already know what they want to do. But I do get a lot of new clients recently who have been saying to me, like I've had a lot of new clients that have said, I have no idea what I want to do. I just know it's not this anymore. And one of the first questions I ask them, if they have like a list, and when I say a list, I mean like 6, 7, 8, 9 things, like even 5 things, like they've got a list of 5 totally different industries and they're like, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. I ask them, which one jumps out at them the most? And a lot of them say to me, nothing. But the majority will say to me, this one thing. And I'll say, okay, so if that's the thing that jumps out to you the most, why have you picked all these other options? And they're like, well, when I think about it, I could also be good at this, and I could also be good at this, and I could also be good at this. And I'm like, but what do you want to do? And the reason I'm saying this is because sometimes we know what we want to do. We know the direction we want to go in. But our human brain and us wanting safety and our fear is like, well, don't just choose one thing, because I already had one thing that I've maybe done for the last 10 years and that hasn't worked out. So if I choose one thing now, what if that doesn't work out? Truth is, you can choose 10 things and all 10 things might not work out. So choosing one thing doesn't mean that now, you're putting yourself in a more risky position. Choosing 10 things is just as risky as choosing one. What if you choose 10 and you don't like any of them? Truth is, we evolve, we grow, we change. The thing you've done for the last 5, 10, 15 years, it might have been perfect for the season of life you were in, and now it's just not perfect anymore. It's not perfect for who you're becoming. It's not perfect for your goals. It's not perfect for what you want to do with your life, and that's okay. And you need to not be beating yourself up from a what if. Like, what if I choose one thing and I'm wrong? Life's about exploration. So's your career. The only way to find what you want sometimes is to explore. And the other reason a lot of people sometimes have like 10, 20 different things they want to do is because actually that keeps them safe from having to make a decision. They make up these far-fetched career choices, like these far-fetched, like me saying I want to be a rocket scientist. I have no interest in science or space or rockets. So why would I say I want to be a rocket scientist? It's almost a way of me saying that so that I actually don't have to choose it and I can just stay exactly where I am. And I feel like some people are choosing 10 different career paths because if they can make it seem so far-fetched that it's just actually ridiculous, then actually, no, let me not choose any of them and stay exactly where I am. That's fear. That's fear in your body. The fear of actually saying out loud, I want to do this one thing, this other thing. There's something I really want to do, but I'm scared of saying it out loud because what if I'm no good? What if I can't get it? And my answer to that is, what if you just tried? What if you made a decision and it ended up being the best decision of your life? But for those of you that are genuinely stuck, because I know this is a genuine thing, like, what do I do next? I was kind of here this year where I was like, what do I want to do now? I've enjoyed my career, my last 15 years in recruitment, but what do I want to do that's slightly different? But also, I still get to speak to people. I get to help people. Like, what else do I want to do in my 9 to 5? And I get that feeling of what next? So the question I want you to ask yourself, if you're feeling stuck, is what job would I do if experience wasn't an issue and I couldn't fail? That is the top question. What would I do right now? What would you choose to go after if experience wasn't an issue and you knew you couldn't fail? I promise you that one question is going to really help you narrow down what you want to do. So I just want you to take a minute, think about it. What job would you do if you just knew you couldn't fail? Now, outside of that, there is a range of different things I work on with my clients when they're trying to figure out their roles and what they want to do next. So I'm going to get into a few of them. And you can try all of them. You can try some of them. But these are the steps you can use to start figuring out what your next career move looks like. If you're stuck, you're not sure what industry you want to go into, this is how you can start to figure it out. And also, here is your reminder that you can have more than one thing on that list. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can make more than one thing work and also use the time to explore and enjoy your career without feeling like you're going to lose money or that you're starting over or any of that stuff that always comes up when we're thinking about changing career. So first things first, what did you enjoy most when you were younger? Is there anything you really enjoyed that actually kind of shows up now as an adult? Like, what did you really enjoy doing? Like, I enjoyed dance when I was young, and no part of my career incorporates any kind of dance, but it does incorporate a lot of creativity. And when I was dancing, we used to have like free choreography where we could get to like make-up dances and things like that. And I danced for many, many years, and I even competed. And that competitive streak, that kind of is in me, not even competitive, but the wanting to be great at something that I do. It's not even competing with other people, but when you dance, you're learning to perfect your craft. And that's really important to me. So that shows up a lot in my career. And the creativity and the fun in dance and enjoying what I did, that shows up for me a lot in my career. So actually dancing shows up for me 0. But the skills that I was using, the strengths that I had, the parts of dance that I enjoyed, not just the actual dancing, but like sometimes I danced in teams, and the creativeness of it all, that I see in certain parts of my life and in enjoyment that I have now. So is there anything that you did when you were younger? Sometimes it might be directly like when you were younger, did you enjoy writing and now you still enjoy writing? Are you supposed to be writing content for people's social media? Are you supposed to be writing books? Like, where does your writing show up? And where could that be a career path that you know you're interested in, you've got interest in, but you're just not 100% sure? So you've been talking about, I think like marketing might be interesting to me. Why is marketing interesting to you? What's making you think about marketing? Because earlier when I was talking about the far-fetched career choices, I speak to people sometimes and they say like, oh, I want to do this. And I'm like, why? They're like, I don't know. They've got no real interest in it. They've got nothing that makes them think they'd be even good at it. They're just picking any random job just to escape the job they're in now. And that's not what I want you to do. I want you to really think about, what skills do I have that make me think I'd be good in that industry? What strengths do I have? What qualities do I have that makes me think I'd be really good at that thing? Recently, I did a workshop with a fellow coach, and a lady on there said she is really good at talking to people, and she's just got this way of getting people to just open up, getting people to tell her things that they wouldn't tell other people. And she, as a stranger, she just has this way. And people would even say to her, how did you get that person to tell you that? Like, I've been trying to get that person to talk to me for ages. That's a skill set. And she was talking about how that fact that she wants to maybe get into some sort of coaching or therapy or that type of role. And her line of thinking makes sense because she is already showing those qualities in her personal life, in her free time. In her work, she's even showing those qualities by being there for other people, other colleagues. So what are the lines that are connecting you to the roles that you're interested in? Or are you just picking roles out of thin air? Think about the things that you can do for hours and hours and hours. I love this. When I talk to my clients, I'm like, what can you do for hours and just time flies and you don't even realize? For me, that's talking. I can talk for England, especially when I'm in environments when I'm comfortable. As an introvert, and I know a lot of you that listen to this are introverts too, the more comfortable I am, the easier it is for me to talk one-on-one, small groups, even like big groups, because I do speaking engagements. But if I'm comfortable, I can only be in a big group in my speaking engagements because I'm confident about the subject that I'm talking about. If you threw me in at the deep end with a subject I wasn't confident about, I probably wouldn't come across as outgoing as I do. But I can talk for England. So I need a job where I get to talk. And I'm not just talking about my coaching. In recruitment, I got to talk to different candidates all the time. I got to help people with their career. I got to find out what they enjoy most and help them with interviews and figuring out, okay, what role would be great for you? Okay, let's practice for interviews. Let's send your CV to that hiring manager. Like, I love being a recruiter because I get to talk to so many different people. So what is it that you can do for hours and hours and hours? And time just seems to pass. Like, it feels like 10 minutes, but you've been doing it for hours. And you forget about all other things. And scrolling TikTok and Instagram doesn't count because we all fall down that rabbit hole. We're like, I'm just going to look for 5 minutes. And the next thing we know, we're 3 hours deep and no work has been done. That doesn't count. Unless you're writing content and it's helping you write content. But even then, it's not. You don't need to be consuming that much content if you're a content creator. So yeah, that doesn't count. But what helps you pass the time and that you enjoy? What role do you play in your family or your friendship group? This right here is key. This is key at digging down into your skills and your strengths, but also figuring out your next career move. My coaching program is called Create Your Own Lane for a reason, and this is one of them. What is your role? We all play a specific role in our families and our friendship groups, whether that's the organizer, the motivator, the one that has the most influence. You know, there's that person in your family, like everyone comes to them for advice and you take their advice. Like, are you that person? Like, people really come to you for advice. Older people, younger people, they trust your opinions. They trust your advice. That means you've got really good influencing skills. Firstly, do you enjoy using those skills? And are they showing up in your work? Have you chosen a job where you can lean on the skills that you naturally are using, the abilities that you naturally have? Work feels more fun and more easy and more interesting when we are using our natural God-given strengths, our natural abilities, our natural talents, things that we don't even necessarily see as a talent. Like if you're the motivator for your friend or the organizer, like I'm the organizer. I book the flights, I find the flights, I can find the prices sometimes, I find the areas, I research stuff and I'm like, oh my God, this would be such a good trip, we should go. I'm the organizer. I have my friends sometimes message me and say, I'm going on holiday, Adele, can you help me book the flights? And I'm not going with them. Yes, I sighed because it annoys me. If you're listening, guys, it annoys me. No, not really. I like helping people. I don't mind. Sometimes it annoys me, I'm not going to lie. But that quality in me of wanting to be helpful or being really good at organizing and getting stuff together, when that shows up in my career, it shows up as leadership. It shows up as a really good problem solver. You come to me with a problem, I'm going to help you fix it. I have to be in a job where I'm able to help people and problem solve. And even I don't have to problem solve for people, I just need to have something that needs fixing. I thrive most when I can help to fix something or make something better, because fixing something doesn't mean it has to be broken. You could have something that's working really well. I just enjoy making it even better. You could be really great at something. I want to help you be even greater. I just like problem solving and I like helping people. So that shows up in my personal life, but also I have to have a career that incorporates that. So when you're looking at your list of things that you might want to do or could do, have you thought about what skills are going to help you do that job? Because all well and good having the list, but why do you think you'll be good at those jobs? And remember, I'm not saying you have to know that you'll be good, but why do you even think that you'll be good? What is making you drawn to that role? I recently spoke to a lovely lady who's in finance, but she wants to get into beauty and fashion. My first question was, why? What makes you know you'll be good at beauty and fashion? Liking something is great, but what qualities do you currently have that make you feel like you can do it? Because as far as she was concerned, she's in finance. There's no way she can make that switch. But the more she started talking, she was telling us that she has done makeup for events. She has styled people. And I was like, is it on your CV anywhere? She was like, no. I was like, why? She was like, because it was like personal employment. Like it wasn't like I didn't work for a company. And I was like, but it was still, you worked. Whether people paid you or they didn't pay you, whether you did it privately, whether you did it as a freelancer, you've done the work. Then she started telling me about how she's done like groups of people and things like that. There are ways to incorporate this and sell these skills in your job search. The next thing I spoke to her about was, have you networked? Have you grown your network on LinkedIn or online or in person with people that are in this industry so that you can make connections? You can learn from them. You can understand how the industry works. If you can understand how something works, it's easier to get your foot in there. If you understand a system, it's easier to be in the system. If you speak to people, because that's next on my list, guys. I was just about to say, networking is your next thing that you want to start doing. Networking doesn't have to be just going on LinkedIn. Networking can be in your personal life, mentioning it to people that you know, and they might know someone who knows someone and they recommend you to that person. But when I was speaking to this lady, I was saying to her, like, reach out to people that are in the industry. People are nicer than you think. Ask questions. Her worry was the fact that she's been in finance for years. She doesn't want to have to start at the bottom if she moves into fashion or if she moves into beauty. She doesn't want to have to start at the bottom. The way you don't have to start at the bottom in your career is by doing the work in advance, reaching out to the right people, putting yourself in the right spaces, having the right conversations, adding the right information to your CV and your application. Is there something in the beauty industry you can do first that will then connect you to your next step? Sometimes your career move isn't one step, it's 2, 3, or 4 steps, but each step gets you closer. Each step makes you feel happier. Each step makes you feel more fulfilled because you've made that move. How can you incorporate it? Sometimes the move is you're going to start doing it privately. You're going to start freelancing. You're going to continue with your normal 9 to 5, but maybe you're going to start freelancing. Maybe you're going to start doing a role outside of work. Maybe it's going to be your own business. Like when I started my coaching business, still have my 9 to 5. Had my 9 to 5 then, still have a 9 to 5 now. Now I don't work full time, I work part time. But back then I was working relatively full time, like 3 or 4 days a week. So I know a lot of you will say, that's not full time, Adele, but still. Some days I'd go in 5 days a week. So there was like months when I was training new people, I was in 5 days every week. But yeah, making your situation work for you. But why are you interested in that? What have you done already in that field? What are you currently doing that connects? It's not always going to connect, but a lot of the time you are using skills that will directly connect to the new industry, but you're just not thinking about it. You're not thinking about the fact that if you're a problem solver in your current job, because you have to analyze data and do a lot of research to deliver a result for your company, that if you move into creative space and you're doing content, you're doing social media, guess what? You have to problem solve. Because when you put out content and it doesn't work and it's not performing well, you have to analyze the data and create better content. When your content is doing well, you have to figure out what made that piece of content do well so that you can then replicate it, repeat it, repurpose it, make better versions of it. Same skill, 2 different industries. And that's why I always talk about knowing your skills. Knowing your skills is so important because it helps in every area of your career. If you have not listened to the career identity episode I've done, go back, find it, listen to it. I am not 100% sure what number it is. I don't know all the numbers of my episodes off the top of my head, but it's called Career Identity. Go, listen, soak it all up, figure out your strengths. This is also going to help you to figure out your next move in your career. Drop your skills, your top skills, organization, communication, motivation. Drop those skills into LinkedIn, drop them into Google, see what jobs come up. Drop them into the job search section on LinkedIn, see what jobs come up. Random roles that you've never thought about. Read the job description. How's it sounding? How does it make you feel? Are you interested? That's another way to go about it. Another thing I say is try them all. You guys know I'm very big on why do you have to choose one way? Try them all. And when I say try them all, I mean create CVs for all of them. Think about the skill you use the most, the strength you use the most that's going to translate across all those industries. Start going to interviews. I promise you that's the quickest way to eliminate the jobs that you're not interested in. That and networking. Going to interviews and networking is the quickest way to eliminate the jobs you won't be interested in. If you start having coffee chats with people through networking, like online chats, finding out more about the industry, there's going to be things that people are saying and you're like, that's not for me. There's going to be things about that role that you're like, yeah, 80% of that role is something I'm not interested in. That eliminates the role. Going for interviews, asking the right questions. Interviews are a two-way street. You are interviewing them as much as they are interviewing you. Asking the right questions. Have you got a list of non-negotiables in your career? A lot of us have a list of non-negotiables when it comes to relationships, friendships, whatever it is, but you don't have non-negotiables for your career. What do you absolutely have to have? And what can you kind of negotiate on? You really might want it, but if you got everything else, you wouldn't really mind. And I'm not talking about, don't go crazy with this. Don't get to the point where, like some people do when they're trying to find a man and they've literally got so many non-negotiables, it's like no one can live up to it. Because again, that's fear-based. That's you actually doing that on purpose, eliminating everyone so there's nothing actually left. Same with your career. Don't go overboard, but you should have non-negotiables. What's most important to you? What are the top 3 things that are most important to you in your next career? Because the more you know what you don't want, it actually will help you find what you do want. Just like right now, you know you don't want to be in your current career. Why? What are the things that you don't want to do anymore? What are the things you don't enjoy anymore? That's going to help you figure out what you do want to do. Go on these interviews, ask the right questions. And they're not the questions from Google, because Google's going to give you the generic questions. They're the questions that mean the most to you, because the reason they have to be more specific and tailored is because what you want from your career is not the same as what I want. If money is the top of my list, then the sort of questions I'm going to be asking are all promotions, for instance, money and promotions. Then the questions I'm going to be asking is, when last did you promote someone from within the team? How often are salaries reviewed? And what are pay rises based on? What type of performances would help someone get paid more? Do you review salaries more than once a year? Because I'm not here for the companies that review salaries once a year. 6 months from now, I'm going to be better than I am today at my job. And if I am way better than I was today in 6 months, I want you to review my pay because I'm delivering faster results, better results. That means you're getting more money, you're getting more customers, you're getting a better quality service from me. I'm going to probably need you to review my salary. So I need to ask the right questions. How often do people stay late at your company? Because if you're someone who doesn't want to stay late and you want good work-life balance, ask the right questions. But the questions are specific to what you need from your career and you need from your next move. Ask people you trust. My first ever career move was because someone said to me, someone close to me at work, I worked with her, she was a colleague, but also a friend. She said, I think you'd be really good at recruitment, and started telling me all about it. And she had just tried it and hated it. She was like, it's awful. But she said, but I feel like you would be so good and you'd probably really enjoy it. And we dug deep and I asked her why. I said, why would I love it and you hate it? But it started to make sense. And I went away and started researching. And I was like, oh, recruitment, human resources. I think I might like this. And then all I had to do next was figure out, how am I going to make what I currently have translate into human resources? Because I don't have a degree and I've never done anything like it. So how do I get into recruitment? But that person, shout out to her, she helped me figure out my next career move. Her name's Amelia, by the way. But yeah, she helped me figure out my next career move. Just that mentioning of like, why not try recruitment? And look at me now, 15, 16 years later. And last but not least, I want to say to you guys, you've got to start putting out the right energy. If you are feeling stuck and you don't know what your next move is, like I said earlier, don't not move. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You need to move. The energy you put out will come back to you. So all these things I've said to you to try, doing all those things, sometimes we think that if you put energy out into like, I don't know, you only focus on marketing roles, then you're only going to get responses from marketing roles. But sometimes just the energy in the universe, sometimes putting out that frequency of, right, I'm ready for a change and I want a change and I'm doing all these things to help me figure out the change. Something unexpected will come back to you. What you put out positively or negatively always comes back to you, but it may not come back to you from the place where you put it in. It's just like being in a relationship. Sometimes you're so great to that person and they're never great to you. But then your next relationship, or you meet someone else who then ends up being amazing to you, because whatever you put out has to come back to you. It is the law of attraction. It is what it is. If you are a negative, mean person, I guarantee all those things come back to you at some point in your life. The same with positivity. If you are constantly saying negative things to yourself, then negative things will always be your reality. If you are constantly saying positive things to yourself, even in the most negative situation, if you are telling yourself you deserve the best opportunities, you deserve a job that you enjoy and you love, you deserve to be able to change career without losing any money or starting from the bottom, tell yourself it enough, you will bring it back to yourself. Have coffee chats with people. You do not know where those chats will lead. They might not get you a job today, but a year from now, that person you spoke to online, that person you networked with might be like, oh my gosh, a role just came up and I thought of you. Or something just happened and I thought of you. I've been offered opportunities I wasn't looking for because of energy that I've put out previously or energy that I'm currently putting out. My current job came to me because I decided I wasn't going to apply for loads and loads of jobs, but I was putting out the energy of, I want a new role. I reached out to old people that I'd networked with to ask them if they had anything. And not one of them had anything, but they all were like, had great things to talk to me about and say to me. But the energy of me putting that work out there to say like, let me connect with people, let me check in with people, see if anyone I know has got anything going on. My job randomly popped up while I was on LinkedIn one day. And I was like, oh, that job sounds amazing. I want to apply. And I applied and I got it because my energy was in the right place. So it meant that my frequency was always going to attract back what I was putting out. I was showing the universe that I want a new job and I want to be in a new industry and I'm not exactly sure what I want to do or how I want to do it. So I'm going to reach out to different people who do different things and have different conversations because I'm serious about this move. And in turn, it came back to me in a totally different way from how I thought. I was networking my butt off and that wasn't what got me the job in the end. And on the flip side of that, I was talking to the person who does like my eyelashes and stuff like that about when I first got made redundant, being out of work. And she was like, oh, I know someone who's looking for someone to do like invoices and stuff like that. And I know you used to like sort of be the director at your company. So I'm sure you did all that. I was like, yeah, I used to run payroll and all that sort of stuff. She goes, oh my gosh, I'll connect you. Had a conversation with that person and got some freelance work. 0 applications, 0 interviews. Always be putting out the right energy and it will come back to you. I promise you. If you are feeling stuck with your next career move, again, I want you to go back to the best question that you can ask yourself. If I could not fail and experience wasn't an issue, which one of the jobs that I've got on my list would I go and do? That question to me is like the top level question. Ask yourself it. And outside of that question, dig down onto your skills, your qualifications, if you've got qualifications, your qualities, your strengths. Dig deep. What are you great at and how would that help you in another role? When you're looking at that list that you've created of all different industries you might be good at, why might you be good at them? What qualities are you going to bring to the table? Because when you sit up in an interview and they're ready to say to you, oh, but you've never done this, how are you going to be good at it? I want you to be ready to answer that question. And the way you're ready to answer it is because you know what you're great at and you can sell the potential. You're like, yeah, I've never done that, but I've done all these things that are similar and I'm really good at these things. Or I'm really great at this and I actually think this will bring a new avenue, a new perspective to your job. I'm really creative and I think that's going to bring a really different perspective to your role. Because I'm going to have loads of different ideas to help you, I don't know, bring in new customers, to help you with your social media, whatever it is. And then you should have things to back it up. You should be able to explain your gap like it is no big deal. And you do that by knowing your strengths. Again, go and listen to the career identity episode because that will help you. That episode alone has helped people level up their interview game and get job offers. So definitely go back and listen to it. I want to remind you that the only time you're stuck is when you don't move. So you are not stuck unless you choose to stay stuck. I know how hard it can be to figure out your next career move, especially when you're like, I don't know what I'll be good at. But the only way to figure out what you'll be good at is to start to make the moves, to start to have the conversations, start to apply to the jobs, go for the interviews, ask the questions, figure out if you're on the right path. If you're not, course correct. It doesn't have to be as hard as you think it is. Why? Because you've already got a job. You're safe. Your bills are paid. You can still travel. You can still enjoy life. That does not stop you from exploring what else might be great for you. That doesn't stop you from making a total 180 and just saying, right, I'm going after something totally different. Just know why you want to go after it. Just know what strengths you're going to be bringing to the table, what qualities you have, and why that's the direction you're choosing. And then put your effort into it. Remember what I said, whatever you put out will come back to you, even if it doesn't come back from the source that you first put it into. I hope this episode has been helpful because like I said, I know so many of you have spoken to me and said that you just don't know what you want to do next. And deep down, I feel like you do. It's in you. And even if you're not 100% sure, you can figure it out. And this episode is the first step to helping you figure it out. Remember, ask yourself that question. If failing wasn't an option, what job would I want to do right now? As always, thank you for listening. If you need some support in your next career move and you're trying to make a career move without starting over or losing money, reach out because I would love to be able to coach you and support you through. I love a good career change. And also, not only will we work on your first move that you want to make now, but we will work on your next 2 moves, the moves that are going to get you to have the career and life that you really want as a whole. For some of my clients, that first move is a higher paying job, working less hours. And the second move is to build the business that they've always wanted. So what are your long-term goals and how can we get you there in 2 moves? Head over to atmrich.com, book a call and let's talk. And I'll speak to you in the next episode. I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening and see you next time.